Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today. Today I want to talk about a continuation on a video that I posted the other day when it came to asserting myself and rather than trying to hide from confrontation, just really being very truthful, even though I knew that the consequences could be quite painful for the other person and not in my favor, or they could react very badly. Despite that, still standing in my truth. So I've titled this video Be the Change You Want to See, because it's true, we can't expect other people to treat us with love and respect if we don't assert love and respect ourselves and show that to ourselves and to them in turn. So the reason why I'm going to be talking about this is because it just got reiterated to me when I had brunch with my friend this morning. I was telling her about the person I'd met the other night who was clearly not in a place to receive love. Also, he was looking for love in all the wrong places and was very pushy with wanting to be not just a friend, but also romantically involved with me after I've told him that I'm not interested and I've also got someone. He was still pushing and saying, oh, but we have so much in common. Why don't we, at least stay friends? And the main reason for me not wanting to even be friends, let alone be romantic with this person, is because I had to protect my own energy. They were being very, very toxic. They broke down and cried in front of me twice, which was an indication that they had so much more healing to do. They also talked about their ex and how much they hated them for what they did to them. And again, wow, I thought, this is there was so much healing needed here, and I'm not the one that's going to be taking this on, because this was not a client. This was just a random person who I'd met randomly. I kind of see the reason behind why I met this person. It was to reactivate a very stable, self-loving energy within me. But I thought, wow, what a crazy, circumstance to meet someone, to have that shown to you. And what else was there? Oh, this person was also, after I had, so the next day, basically, what happened is I had to tell them, because they were messaging me and saying, I'm very interested in staying in contact with you, want to be a friend. But I said, look, energetically, we're very mismatched. I have to put myself first, and I have to be honest with you, I'm not interested in being friends. And you may think that we have a ton of stuff in common, but we don't. These are very superficial things. Even if you think that we're both spiritual and have that in common, it's very surface level. I don't feel that I have the same spiritual journey as you. We are very different. He's into very, I don't know, different level spirituality, I guess, because he likes to have those ice baths and, try to meditate so that you can, I don't know, do these crazy things with your body. Whereas I'm meditating for different reasons, to connect with my soul, my life, purpose, my beloved, all of that. He doesn't have any of that. His viewpoint on everything is very, very hocus pocus almost. It's like, look at what I can do. Whereas I'm doing it for myself. I don't need to show to people that I can have an ice cold bath. Like, I don't do that anyway. Goodness me, I couldn't do it. I don't need to. But also there was so much resentment still in this person's energy. And I have to be very protective of who I let into my life, because I'm not being energetically balanced with this person, it would just be a relationship of take, take, take. And also, they felt very paranoid. I don't know why they would want to still be friends with me if they were so paranoid. They kept saying, "You're probably reading my energy right now. You're probably analyzing me right now." Like, well, if you're so paranoid, I wouldn't want to be around somebody who I felt extremely paranoid around. It just makes no sense. So I had to assert myself and say, look, I can't be friends with you. I have to put myself first, and this is what I find is most important to me at this time. I just don't have the capacity to give you the friendship that you clearly need, because you need a lot of comfort and healing, and I just can't do that. I don't have that capacity. So firstly, he was a bit sad, and then he took offense, and then he started to be very nasty. And if you have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a medium. Well, I have cut off seeing and interacting with people who've passed over now, because I don't find any use, because they tend to cling on to very negative energy, and that's not the type of energy that I associate with. So I have made it clear that I don't do mediumship readings anymore. But of course, he used that against me, and he started being very vicious, and he went, "Well, don't you need someone to protect you from your nightly hauntings?" Excuse me? I was so offended. And that's when I thought, you know what? I have been fair. I have been friendly. I have been kind. But that's it now. I can't deal with this person anymore. So I did cut them off, and they have no more ways of contacting me. And I'm okay with that, because I didn't just ghost them. I didn't just disappear out of their lives. And I've actually given them the reason why, and they just wouldn't accept it. And when you are being pushed, you need to do what's best for you. So, but whereas before, I may have approached this differently. I may have gotten so scared of this actually happening, because I can read from the energy that this is the reaction he was going to take. I tried my best to diffuse the situation as much as I could, but clearly he was still going to go down that route no matter what I tried. In the past, I may have just blocked him immediately without giving any reason, but I felt, you know what, I don't want to be ghosted or blocked without closure, or at least knowing why and how I can improve. So I want to be the change that I want to see in this world. So I did more than I should have done. I've given him reasons as to why I couldn't continue on this connection. It was very brief anyway, but there was no reason for us to remain friends or in contact for anything, because his energy was just super depleting, and whether he realized it or not, he was just taking. And I did not have the capacity for that. So I told him I was very fair. And and I told my friend, and she said, "Well, you kind of did too much. Like, I would have not even given this person the time of day." But this is what I'm trying to change, is I am trying to be that change, because I, yes, may have entertained him for a bit longer than I normally would have, but I don't want to be left hanging anymore. I don't want to be treated unfairly in any way. So I have to be the change that I want to see. But along with being the change you want to see, it also comes with putting yourself in very uncomfortable circumstances sometimes, and telling people. Like, another example is I sometimes get people texting me, whether they're friends or clients, texting me quite negative things. And as an empath, I am super sensitive already. You don't even have to text me anything for me to feel your energy. But with you texting, it's like you are doubly sending that energy my way. So I had to tell people, including a client, that they have to be careful with what they send. Like, if you're sending me a message and you're being super negative, please consider my feelings, and please consider that I am also very affected. It's not just you feeling down and depressed, but if you're going to send that my way, I feel it very, very strongly, and it has an effect on me too. Just because I'm an energy healer doesn't mean that I'm completely immune, especially if you're directing those things my way. So, whereas before I would have kind of tried to ignore it, I'm just being pushed to not ignore that anymore because I don't want this behavior to continue on and I have to nip it in the bud. No matter how uncomfortable it is, I'm being pushed by the universe into situations where I'm having to assert myself, to put my foot down and say, look, this is not going to happen anymore. It may have happened in the past. I may have turned a blind eye. I may have avoided it out of just fear of confrontation, but not anymore. So I've had quite a few situations where I've had to confront. It kind of started the end of last year where I've had to confront a manager in work who was treating me very unfairly. And since then, more situations like that have presented themselves. I can't talk. Where I've had to assert myself and put myself first and really be honest and transparent with people, giving them closure, giving them constructive information, as well as breaking certain ties and not allowing certain behaviors that are no longer acceptable. So this was just a couple of examples of how I've had to be the change that I wanted to see. But I wanted to share this message because I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of you, and you're having to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, be truthful, no matter how difficult, because you want to have change in your life. A lot of the times, and I've realized this, we create stagnation out of fear. Out of, oh my God, if I do this, this person will react badly, and how do I get myself out of it? But, we are having to become this change that we want to see in order to get a better situation, to get ourselves out of stagnation and have that reflect on us. So if we're having trouble communicating with our beloveds, we must consider, how do we communicate to other people in our lives, and are they reflecting that back to us? Can we break the stagnation through speaking our truth, owning our truth, and being fearless in the face of adversity? I hope that this inspires you and helps you. I always put the intention out there that anyone who is guided to watch this video is somebody who will benefit from the message, and it will help them on their journey as well. And this is not just for Twin Flames, it's for anybody who is on a spiritual journey to becoming more authentic and more of who they truly are and aligning with their soul. If you'd like to connect with me, all my details are in the description. And thank you also very, very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.